going to quickly go through Unit 5. Let's see how fast I can do it while being effective. I have a lesson in about 10 minutes, so I think I can do it. So this is the order of sharps for major key signatures while writing them on the staff. So in the last unit, we wrote them out in scales. We kind of outlined them in our grid here to see what sharp comes first. And just like how you can see the F sharps will always come first, then C sharps, G sharps, so on and so forth, that's exactly how we're going to write it out in our key signature. The F sharps will always come to the left, closest to the treble clef or the bass clef. Now I already wrote them out so you can see like kind of what they're looking for you to do here. But I'm just going to go through and kind of show you exactly, cleanly, not fast and scribbly like this Ashley did here, how to draw these out. So if it's a line note, like F sharp is a line note, it has to go with the middle of your sharp with the line running through it. See, even then, if I was writing in pencil, which I should be, I would erase that and try that again, because to me that looks really sloppy. Next is C sharp, so it's going to go next to my F sharp, and that's a space note, so the box and the sharp goes inside the space. Next is G sharp, and it's important that you write the G sharp up here and not down here. It needs to go in the correct octave. It means that any sharp, G sharp is, you know, where it needs, you know, where am I trying to say here? Any G sharp is, any G on the piano or any G on an octave is sharp. But you have to write it in this octave. Wow. Next is D sharp. That's a line note. And next is a space note. It's A sharp. Next is a space note. It's E sharp. And next is a line note, it's B sharp. This looks so sloppy. If someone gave me this and they're like, hey, Ashley, check this out, I'd be like, wow, you need to redo that like 20 more times. You could do that so much better. So just make sure you're taking your time. Make sure that you're writing all of your sharps in the correct octave. Make sure if you're writing in bass clef, your notes are in bass clef. Okay, my G is inside the staff and not above the staff here. And just, if it looks bad, go back and erase it. Like I had to go back and erase this one right here, and I think one down here too, because I was going just a little bit too fast. There's no shame in the game of erasing. That's why your pencil's got one. And don't be like me, writing with a felt pen. I usually write with an erasable pen, but I can't find it, and pencil just doesn't show up very well on the video, so I have to write in some type of color. So that's what they're looking for here. Naming the major sharp key signatures, they want you to name the last name the last sharp to the right in the key signature. So they circled the very last one all the way to the right. That one's a C sharp. They circled all the way to the right. That's a D sharp. All the way to the right, that's an E sharp, and all the way to the right is a G sharp. Now they're going to show you a nice little dandy trick of how to quickly identify a key signature if you don't want to do the traditional like flashcard memorization. You take this last sharp that's on the right hand side and you bump it up a half step. So you have to change the letter. So if it's a C, it needs to be a D. Now it's a C sharp, so a half step above C sharp is D. This was D sharp, a half step above D sharp is E. So this is going to be the key signature of D major, and this is going to be the key signature of E major. So now here's the tricky one that everybody kind of fumbles on. The last sharp here is E sharp. Well, okay, well, isn't it just going to be F major? No, it has to be F sharp major. Okay, E sharp is technically F. So a half step above F is F sharp. So E sharp up a half step is going to be F sharp. And then G sharp going up a half step. Now your key signature, a quick way to identify that is going to be A major. For part 2, write the names of the key signatures down. You can try the circle method like they have up here, or I just really honestly suggest taking like 5 minutes of your practice time every day and just memorizing them. It's going to make your life so much easier, so you don't have to worry about what's the last sharp. Bump it up a half step. Just say 2 sharps D, 4 sharps E, 3 sharps A, 1 sharp G, 5 sharps B, so on and so forth. So there are your sharps for you. And is that it in here? Oh, and then you have to write them out. They ask you to write it out. Just make sure that they're really nice and kind of clear. Obviously, like this, I would be like, oh my goodness, Ashley, what happened there? I honestly don't know what I was doing when I was writing this. It honestly looks like a hot mess. But you can see that there's 4 sharps in E major, there's 2 sharps in D major, there's 3 sharps in A major. And then it says for part number 4, add the correct sharps to form the major scale. So we're going to add the sharps inside the scale and then write out our key signature. I went ahead and just redrew the clef in front of it just to kind of get used to that practice. I suggest you guys do that too. So in G major, there's 1 sharp, and then I redrew my key signature. 2 sharps for D major, 3 for A, 4 for E, 5 for B, 6 for F sharp, and 7 for C sharp. So you're gradually just adding 1 more sharp to it as you go down. And that's it.